the 2,500 post. This is true. 2,500 Scars Club members. Jules gets a cam, and we go on tour.
Yes. Starting in Arizona.
What do you think of that?
Yes.
You will all get a chance to hit me in person. Okay? This is a pretty good deal. So we're going to start doing more Scars Club initiatives here. Join that Scars. You get things. 2,500 Scars Club members gets Jules Cam. Are we far off? You decide. A live tour. Imagine getting to be with me. Imagine getting to be me. Feel me from the inside out. Imagine getting to smell my aroma. What would you do for that?
The last time we went on tour, Mike dragged a guy out of the house by his ponytail. It was very entertaining.
People don't know this about me.
It's one of the best days.
We were in Seattle. Do you remember the story? This is a true story about me. We were in Seattle. We threw a vicious house party. Now, this was weird. So we're on the Redbar tour. We decided to do Seattle. In the house, back then this is what we would do. I would go, guys, I'm coming to Seattle. So like every weekend we'd go to a different city. It's called the Redbar tour. I think we went to like 23 cities in a year. And every week I'd go, this is the Redbar tour. If you want to stay in the Redbar house, hit me up. And we'd have like 4 or 5 people all split the bill, and we'd get an Airbnb to throw a party in. And you'd be able to stay with me, listeners. Now, we'd, of course, screen them and choose them. Like if I was going to Arizona, it'd be me, Woodward, Xander, Deader. We're the house guys. And then we'd throw an epic party there after the live show that took place at a venue. So we did Seattle. And listen to this. We go to Seattle, and I don't remember what happened. The Seattle one was a weird one. Seattle happened last minute, and this was the days of Kyle Lane reporting us to our venue. So what was happening is we started the tour. Our first tour stop was L.A. We have this guy, Kyle Lane. We do our show in L.A. We announce it. Kyle Lane calls the venue. He emails the venue, too. This is a Hitler radio program. They're going to destroy the venue. These are bad guys. You can't let this happen. They're going to destroy the place. People are going to get hurt. So I go to L.A. to do a live show. And the day before the live show, I get an email or I get a call from the venue. Hey, man, we got to cancel the show. I got this email here about you. I just can't do it. I can't risk it. And I go nuts. The day before the show, I'm in L.A. We're waiting. Everyone's bought tickets for this event. And then he calls me, shows me this email. We got this email. You're a Hitler show. You're all racist. You're going to destroy the property. This is what you do.
Hitler show.
And I went fucking nuts. I mean, I screamed everything I could think of. I screamed to this guy. He says, no, sorry, it's a no. Nothing you could say could change me. I'm canceling the show. So then I hopped in my rental car and I started driving around. This is the day before the show. I start driving around L.A., stopping at every place that's a bar. Any place that I could envision a live show being thrown in, I go to, and I'm driving like 100 miles an hour down Sunset, throwing the car over to the side, hopping out, running into the bar, huffing and puffing, going to the counter. How can I speak to your manager? We have a live show that just got canceled. The venue just got canceled. Can we hold our show here today? We've got about 100 people coming. Can you do this? Blah, 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 blah. No? Okay, gotta go. And then back, I must have hit up 50 places. Finally, we found a place.
You in Kingsbury.
No, this is in L.A. This is the first time our show got canceled. It was in L.A., and I'm telling the story for a reason. And I go to probably 100 venues. We spent the whole day. In fact, we drove around so much that I got a flat tire in my rental car. And now everywhere I'm going, I'm driving on a flat, and I got people rolling down their windows. You got a flat tire? I'm like, yes, I know! We finally find a venue. We email every ticket buyer, and then we send my brother and his friend to go to the original venue, to stand outside the original venue all night in case people showed up there, to give them a flyer with directions to the new venue. Now, that was chaos, right? That nearly happened every single time we did a tour, to the fact that we had to eventually stop giving out the address for the tours. And then we had to say, hey, you buy a ticket for the tour, we'll email you 20 minutes before with the location. 20 minutes before. That way they can't stop it. So we were doing it that way. Now, we do Seattle. And I don't know why, but the Seattle one got canceled as well, right? We lost the venue.
Yeah, remember? Because we did it at a coffee shop.
So we go to Seattle, and it's the same thing. The day before, I'm going into every establishment that I could physically see a show happening in. I spend the entire day going into every fucking place going, can we have a show here? And they said yes, and we go to Seattle. Now, we rented an Airbnb in Seattle to have the after party in. In every city we went to, I did the same thing. I would rent an Airbnb, and then after the show, everybody who bought a ticket to the show is allowed to come back to the Airbnb to have an all-out hallucinogenic sex party with me, Mike.
I don't even know how we did that. Like, the stress of the things that we did in Seattle would kill me now.
So we rent this house in Seattle, a 3-story, beautiful, modern house. What was the guy's name?
Carl.
Look at this. We get to the house before the show. We check in. Carl is there. He's showing us around the house. The owner, Carl. And then he says this. After he shows us his house, his 3-story house, and I'm going, this will be perfect for a party. This room will be perfect for the lights. This room will be perfect for the DJ. He's showing me around. And then after he shows me around, he goes, and yeah, I'll be right back here. And he shows me he's got an addition to the house in the backyard that he's separated by a lock. And he's showing me that he will be staying on the property while we're here, which was not discussed. This was supposed to be a private house, but on Airbnb, there could be tricky things. So it turns out this was supposed to be a private. We own this house. We get there. Turns out he's staying in the backyard in this sub house, this guest house. So what he does is when he rents out his home for Airbnb, he just goes into his guest house in the backyard and hangs out there while we stay in his regular house.
The door to get from his secret house to the main house was in Ian Kingsbury's bedroom.
Yes.
Danielle just reminded me.
Yes. So this was really bad, and he's telling us this, and we're like, we have a party planned for 80 people? How the heck is this going to go down? Because obviously you're not allowed to use their house for a party. So luckily, he says to us, oh, I'll be staying at my girlfriend's house on Saturday, by the way. So if you need me, I won't be here. And I go, oh, yes, thank God. So this loser is staying at his girlfriend's house the night we wanted to have the party. It was perfect. So I throw the party. We have the show. It was terrible. We go back to the house with all these people.
The show was good, by the way. Some black people.
Oh, was it?
Remember some black people came out from the streets inside the coffee shop to argue with you, and then there was a homeless guy working on a computer with a broken screen. Remember that?
No.
I do.
So we go back, we throw this party, we have all these people there. It was lit. We had a jacuzzi on the roof of this building. It was a 3-story apartment building that he owned, the whole thing. We had a jacuzzi on the roof. People were fucking in the jacuzzi.
Oh, yes.
People who came to our party were butt naked fucking in the jacuzzi while people watched, right?
2 guys and a girl, threesome.
We didn't know about this. I'm downstairs. I take my first dab. A dab. Remember dabbing, weed, concentrated marijuana, blowtorch and all? This is when dabbing first came out. So this guy, I'm drunk as fuck. I'm having a great time. We're having a party. He brings out this huge bong. People are on the roof. People are everywhere. They're enjoying our house. We're having a great time. He brings out this bong. I take my first dab out of like a 3-foot bong. I go into a psychosis. Okay. I don't smoke weed at this point. I smoke weed just for fun here and there, but I don't smoke weed daily. And I take my first dab, huge 3-foot bong rip dab on top of being already drunk. So I go into what's called a complete and utter shutdown paranoia, where I'm hallucinating, looking outside this window, seeing a tree come to life.
I didn't take a dab, and I remember you and my friend Danielle were sitting right beside me, and you're both screaming at a tree out the window.
Like, I was really paranoid and fucked up, and we're in the bedroom hiding. I'm hiding in the dark on this dab, freaking out while everyone is having this party around the house. Finally, I start coming out of the psychosis of the dab, and I go, oh my God, we have this party here. I got to check on it. This party has been unwatched, unchaperoned. I'm hiding out in this bedroom, and everyone's just having a field day in this party.
And by now it's like 4 a.m. also.
4 a.m. I go downstairs, and Ian Kingsbury, the head listener. So we shared this house with the listeners, right? There's like 5 different listeners staying there. And this guy, Ian Kingsbury, is there. And he's been handling the party. He's been trying to be the chaperone of the party, like telling everyone what they can and cannot do. And they don't know who he is. So they've been taking advantage of him. And I get a knock on my door. Mike, the party's out of control and they won't listen to me. And I go, what? What the fuck? And I'm all spaced out. It's my first ever dab. I never smoke weed. I'm drunk as fuck. I could barely see. And I go, what's going on? He goes, they're taking Carl's scooter. They've brought it inside and they're trying to bring it up to the roof. And I go, what? And then I come in and I see 8 guys who I don't know, and they're all laughing. They've taken this dude, the guy who lives there, his electronic 125cc scooter, and they're all lifting it up the stairs, bringing it to the roof. And I'm livid, okay? Because first of all, you don't disrespect me at my party. You took advantage of me, really, while I was sleeping. So I'm livid, and I start screaming at everybody. I flip on all the lights. I start telling everyone they need to leave. But all these people, there were like all these people at the party. They invited friends of friends. And all of a sudden, there's like 80 people there that I didn't even know. So it became just a neighborhood party that was out of control while I fell asleep, and the place is trashed. There's beer everywhere. So I start screaming, everybody's got to go. You know, when I'm livid, it's 5 a.m. at this time. And everyone's just laughing, laughing at me and all this shit. So I come down and I'm in my fucking pajamas. I'm yelling at everybody to leave, and they're all laughing. And I see this guy that I've never seen before. He's got this long ass hair. Was it in a ponytail?
I think it was just long hair. It wasn't a ponytail.
So Jules and her friends are upstairs, and I come down and I see this guy with long fucking hair, and I'm screaming at him. I'm like, everybody get the fuck out. And they wouldn't listen. They were laughing and laughing and laughing. So I just snap. I go to the guy with the long hair. I fucking grab his hair like this, and I go, ah! And I throw him to the ground. I'm not kidding. And I drag him physically out by his hair. But halfway in, so he's shocked. The only reason that I'm able to drag this guy out by his hair is because he's in such shock that I did this to him, that he's frozen. But once he realizes what's happening, he snaps out of it. And all of his friends attack me and jump on me. And there's punches going everywhere. And I'm just on the ground punching at everything.
From upstairs, it sounded like a movie where a brawl's breaking out. Like it's silent, and then all of a sudden it's like pans or smashing.
So I finally, somehow, this is what I remember. I remember dragging the guy out and then physically pushing all of his friends out the door, but I'm sure it couldn't have happened like that. They just decided to leave. They were screaming and screaming. People were throwing beers. It was nuts. They finally leave. Jules and her friend come down from upstairs. They go, what was that? And I tell them this incredible story. The party's over. All the lights are on. But they haven't left. They're still outside. And now they're taking beers, full beers, and throwing them at the house. And it turns into like the movie The Strangers. We thought they had left. We're all sitting there in the kitchen talking about what just went down. And then we hear, and we're like, what the fuck? They're here and they've surrounded the house. I'm not kidding.
You like peek out the window and you see a shape in the background of a
like
guy
I was looking
there.
out the window to see, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, a glass hits the window. And you're like, holy fuck, they're here. And we all drop to the floor in the kitchen. Remember this?
Yeah, oh yes.
We all drop to the floor in the kitchen and we're hiding. We're going, shh, don't say a fucking word. Shh. And they're surrounding the house and they're banging on every door.
And Danielle just texted me and said they were also throwing rocks
at
the windows.
Okay, so listen, they're throwing rocks, they're throwing bears, and it's like strangers were just like, shh, don't say it. And we can't call the cops because we're having this epic party. The whole place is trashed. The scooter, the guy's fucking 125cc moped is on the stairwell. I mean, the place is trashed, and the guy, remember, the guy who owns the place is only at his girlfriend's house. He's coming back in the morning. So it's 5 a.m., the lights are on, they're throwing stuff, and then they whip a beer bottle at the front door. And the front door is this wooden door, but with like stained glass in the middle. They whip it, shatters the entire glass door. Yep. So now the front door is completely open with a beer shattered. The place is a mess. I come up with this plan. I go, he's coming back in the morning. Let's go to bed now. We go to bed with everything trashed. The broken door.
We cleaned up the whole house from the party, but then we left the door trashed.
We left the door as is. 9 a.m. No joke. I'm in my private bedroom of the Airbnb, 9 a.m.
No, my friend Danielle was sleeping on the couch downstairs as her bedroom.
She got it first.
And Carl busts
the owner
in the door and wakes her up. Like, imagine the Airbnb. After this night, the Airbnb owner wakes her up on the couch, and there's like a man standing over her.
Wakes her up. Then they come to my door. It's Carl, the owner of the house. 9 a.m. He comes. His property's filled with beer bottles and cans all over the outside. Sees the shattered door. I come downstairs going, oh, what's going on, man? He's like, what happened here? I go, what the fuck? What is all this? And he's on his hands and knees sweeping glass from the door into a dustpan. The house is a wreck. And I go, what the fuck? He's like, what happened? And I go, I have no idea. I just woke up. We've been sleeping all night. And he's like, you don't know what happened here? I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. What happened? As if like someone just did this while we were sleeping.
Well, me and Danielle are standing there looking so guilty, basically hiding.
Yeah.
We're so
and he's like, he knew, he didn't believe it, but it's like,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You can't prove. If you don't have cameras, you can't prove that I did it. Why would I ever admit that I did it? Then I have to pay that money. And that door could have been what? $2,800. So I just play dumb, and he finds himself he's so mad at me, but he goes, there's nothing I could, like, he can't prove that I did it. He can't prove that I threw a party. He doesn't have cameras, so he just had to eat it. And we had 2 more days there. And he just hated us. He wrote a review. Remember, he wrote, they smashed the door. They had the party, and I wrote, he's lying. Yeah. It did. We never had to pay a dime. We got out of it somehow. But that was one of the craziest.
Well, they can, on Airbnb, they can request like $1,500 for your broken door or whatever, but they can't make you pay it.
Someone says the statute of limitations might not be up. Uh-oh.
If you're listening, Carl, we have no idea what happened. It was
Kingsbury. Okay, sue me for $2,800. I don't even care. I'd throw the money at his head. Who gives a fuck? And then we drove by the next day. When we woke up from that, we stayed out all day. Like, we did not want to see Carl at all ever again on the trip. So we stayed out like the whole day. We circled back to see if he was going to be home when we came back. We circled back, and they had boarded up the whole door.
Yep.
They had put wood planks over the door. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. But that was probably, that's a little, that's story time.
So do you guys want us to go on tour again, is the point of that story?
Of one of the wackiest tours ever. And I'll never forget those guys.
And when I went to the Seattle tour stop and the Vancouver tour stop was equally as crazy. Not as much horror, but just as much Mike screaming and being insane.
We had some crazy times. Cameron says, well, Mike still didn't break the door. That's true.
Yeah.
He didn't. This whole story was under a disclaimer. Yes. Mike, I'll host my Florida beach house as a Redbar party. Yeah, right. I can't do that anymore. It's just too dangerous.
It would be way better, though, if it actually was a head hosting the party, because the Airbnb part is too dangerous. Stressful. Like, we were dumb enough to do that back then, but
and
now
we did it everywhere. Like, we were renting Airbnbs under our names for every tour stop, throwing the wildest parties there with people that we didn't even know. I mean, it was so
like these days, the stress of that would kill me.
Oh,
but
yeah,
if
I could not do that.
Anyone has a giant property, then we'll do it at your place.
I still can't do it. The stress is too high.
I mean
it's a different world.
That everything that we've just told, that anything could happen. Disclaimer.
It's too much of a disclaimer. I mean, anyone could drug us. It's like too dangerous of a world out there now to do something this stupid. Trust me. I mean, the shit I was taking at these parties, just any drug they would hand me.
Yeah, but you don't have to do
any
that.
Drink they would hand me. I mean, it was fucking wild. BBG party at my grandma's. Mike and Jules could stay home and Skype into the party. That would be
exactly.
Todd would love to host a party. That place would be destroyed. Does anyone have 100 acres with armed guards? Yeah, we would have to have Cameron there slitting people's throats. We'll do it at your place, but only a private guest list, and you can't be there. Okay. Party at Todd's house, Little Hash. What do you think, Todd? Would you host a Redbar party? Bunch of prouds coming. No, they would definitely come to kill me now. This is what you're not considering. There's so many people that want me dead. They're going to show up to the tour.
But I'm going to take you. The people who want you dead are.
Here's a guy right now. I'm going to take you out at a party, Mike.
He wouldn't do it.
They will. I'm telling you, it will happen. There's a guy. There's one guy. I know a lot of them are fake. There's one guy who's serious, who is coming to kill us. For real. And people think it's a joke. Will it be a joke when you see the pictures of me dead with the knife through my throat naked that he posts? It's coming. I'd smother Mike in kisses at a party. They'd have to get through the heads first. That'll be easy. Kumia will send an assassin. He'd take Mike out for some burgers and beers. You're safe at any party of mine. That's not true. No one is safe. I can think back to every party we've ever had. There were 10,000 opportunities to easily kill me without getting caught. Mike is above us. Not at all. I would love to party with you. There are too many killers. Almost everything I'd want to do at a party is something that you could poison or corrupt or get me in trouble for or call the cops. I mean, there's no possible way. We would be putting our lives at